Wow, I really don't know what I just watched. That was perhaps the worst performance in the entire Ryan Day era that he's played so far. I mean, you could point to other games, but that was just I was getting pissed. That it you can't play like that against a Nebraska team that just got blown out against Indiana 56-7. It's even inexcusable even if you're on the road in Nebraska. And I know that's like a 4-hour flight. No, you're at home and you're off a bye. You're at home, you're off a bye, and you're off a big crushing loss, and you come out and you play like this. It's as if every single question, every single thing that has been critiqued within the Ryan Day era came into play with this game. The offense, and I know Chip Kelly, they say he's doing the play calling. Quite frankly, whether it's him or whether it's Ryan Day, they both are terrible at it. They're both awful at it. What was some of that? The 3rd down and 9 play at the end of the game, you're up 4, you throw a 5-yard behind screen. What are you doing? What are you thinking? Some of the play calls, you're gashing them deep. They can't cover your receivers at all. It's a mismatch problem. You have 2 deep touchdowns. You go away from the pass almost entirely in the 3rd quarter. It's like, are you dumb or are you stupid? It's just really frustrating. Nebraska, I'll give the Raiola kid credit. He played a really good game. The defense played all together. They played pretty well. And this is just what I wanted to lead this off with because I just thought those things were ridiculous. But I did put together a list. I was so aggravated watching this game for Ohio State that I just put down a list of 10 things here that are just what's going to cost them when they go play Penn State. And I'll give you that, my opinion on that after this. But the first thing I put down from the start, really missing Josh Simmons, their tackle that's out for the year. O-line looked terrible. O-line looked really bad. They couldn't protect at all. Couldn't protect against anything. They're really missing him. I think without him, it's going to be really tough for them to run the table. I didn't realize how big of a factor he was to that O-line. It kind of there was moments where they were able to protect, but the majority of the game he was under duress. If Kyle McCord's the quarterback for this game, we lose going away. Because Will Howard was at least able to move out of some of this stuff. So the first thing, that loss of Josh Simmons, I don't even think I don't think I realized at the time how big of a loss that was. That's massive, and that's going to screw us. The only critique that I really have on the defense is the secondary penalties. So many secondary penalties. You just can't have it. It's inexcusable. Denzel Burke, I don't know what happened to the guy. I swear, like against Michigan, he held his own. And I know that they didn't have like top fled receivers there, but neither does this Nebraska team. And he had a good year last year. I don't know what happened, but the defensive penalties, even Igmanosa had a few. The only guy on that entire unit that I can say is like really just getting after it, not making any mistakes is Caleb Downs, a tremendous player that we have that's he's being failed by a lot of those defensive guys on that roster. I thought JTT played fine today. There was a little bit more pass rush, but I don't know how much you want me to put into this because it's Nebraska who just got blown out to Indiana. And I don't care what their record is. I don't care that Indiana is whatever, 7-8-0. I don't care. It's Nebraska. They should be getting pass rushes. So I just thought that was just rough. The next thing that I wrote that the field goal unit, what's going on? Shanking that kick. Guy can't make a field goal. There's a reason that we're trying to get so many yards at the end of that Oregon game. There's a reason that I'm not mad at Will Howard for that play. It's because even if Will Howard slides down in the Oregon game a second before, he's not making that kick. It's just they're kickers. They're not set up for these moments. You're putting them in bad spots. That wasn't a bad spot. That's the definition, that kick, of what you need to come in here and do at Ohio State. I think it was like a 40-yard field goal or something. You can't make that. I wish we had the other kicker. He was money. The guy from Nebraska, he was making great kicks. So that's just frustrating. So any game where it comes down to a field goal that is 35 yards or longer, probably going to lose. Probably going to lose. Okay. So next up, that Will Howard interception. Part of it, I'll say, the O-line just played so bad that you can't establish the run. Sometimes you're not set up with time to pass. But it was a bad interception. I mean, just pretty much threw it right to the guy. Just not a great pick. Not like a pick where it's like the defensive guy made a play. It's just throwing it to him. And yeah, I mean, those were the key takeaways from this game. That was just such a disgusting game where it's like, if they play like that against Penn State, they're going to lose by 20 plus. In that, they should have lost today. If Ohio State plays like that against Penn State, it's going to be in Happy Valley. It's going to be a bloodbath there. They're going to beat them by like 21 plus. And I hate to say it, I think we're in the dawning days here of Ryan Day. And I want them to turn it around. But given the information that I've gotten so far, given how they played today at home, I can't look past this. I don't think anybody can look past this. The play calling on offense sucks. It's bad. I'm an optimistic guy. I was optimistic after the Oregon game. I came on here and said that. I said they're fine. They just got to win out the rest of their games. I don't know if they can beat Penn State. After this, that's an ugly, ugly win today. And maybe it was just a bad game. But I think there is something to be said about a team that comes out off a bye, off a big loss where you think they'd want to make a statement, and they look like that. That tells me that it's going to be tough. That tells me now. Hopefully next week I come on here and I'm wrong, and they have a great game against Penn State. The offense looks great. The play calling is better. They're not doing a screen pass 5 yards behind the play on third down and manageable. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I mean, the schedule's not that you have Penn State. You got 2 breaks pretty much in Purdue and Northwestern. Then you got Indiana. And Indiana, like I said, at the same time, they're Indiana. We should blow them out. This is the most talented roster in college football. It is. Player by player, it is. But what people lack to realize is those individual players are only as good as the system that they're put in. You need at least a game plan. It really makes me question, what is Ryan Day saying to these people during the bye? What is he saying to them outside of the Oregon game? Like, after a game like this today, if he's not sitting there and individually ripping some of these players to shred, making them accountable for playing like this, they never stood a chance. So hopefully they beat Penn State, or the Ryan Day era is going to end here shortly.